step into the ancient world of Neanderthals, where the first rays of the rising sun pierced through the entrance of a mysterious cave, awakening our age-old relatives, surrounded by the warmth of a crackling fire. When Europe and Asia were a vastly different place, and our favorite cousins roamed the landscapes. In this video, we'll step back in time to explore a day in the life of these fascinating humans, their survival strategies, social dynamics, the challenges they faced, and the astonishing skills they possessed. Let's go on a journey through the Ice Age as we bring the world of Neanderthals to life. A day in the life of a Neanderthal would first and foremost revolve around survival, which most importantly meant hunting and gathering for food. Neanderthals, men and women, were adept at cooperative hunting, often working together in small groups to take down large prey. Neanderthals used sophisticated close-range hunting techniques to capture their prey. They approached animals very closely and ambushed them, thrusting their homemade spears into their flesh. Some sites around Europe reveal Neanderthals pursued prey in specifically selected areas, such as ditches, depressions, and blind spots, where they were simpler to slaughter. These collaborative strategies allowed them to tackle formidable animals like mammoths, bison, woolly rhinoceroses, deer, wild horses, extinct bulls, and straight-tusked elephants. They competed for these prizes against other predators, such as hyenas and lions, sometimes losing their lives in the process. The bones of about 70 straight-tusked elephants were found in a 125,000-year-old pit near Halle in central Germany. These elephants were much larger than the famous woolly mammoth, and 3 times the size of the present-day Asian elephant. An adult male could weigh up to 13 tons. Hunting these giant animals and completely butchering them was part of Neanderthal subsistence activities. Neanderthals would have mostly went for the adult males, as they would have been easier to hunt than females, who tend to move in herds protecting their young. Whereas adult males are solitary animals most of the time, so they are easier to immobilize, driving them into mud and pit traps. While primarily meat-eaters, Neanderthals also gathered plant-based foods, including berries, nuts, and roots. This diversified their diet, providing essential nutrients and energy. Crafting and using tools made from stone, wood, bone, and antler were also integral to their daily activities. Neanderthals created tools for domestic uses that are distinct from hunting tools. They would have carefully chose appropriate raw materials, such as specific types of stones for lithic tools or bones and antlers for tools requiring those materials. Before crafting, Neanderthals likely had a mental image of the desired tool. Different tools served various purposes. For lithic tools like hand axes and spearheads, Neanderthals engaged in a process called knapping. This involved striking stones with other stones or tools to shape and refine the edges. Skilled knapping resulted in tools with sharp edges for cutting, butchering animals, and hunting. Neanderthals used bones and antlers to craft tools for specific tasks. They would shape these materials by carving, grinding, or splitting, creating tools, such as awls and needles for clothing, harpoons for fishing, and even pendants and beads for personal adornment. Many Neanderthal tools were hafted, meaning they were attached to handles or shafts. This required additional craftsmanship to secure the tool to its wooden or bone handle, often using adhesive substances or tightly bound fibers. When they were done hunting, gathering, and making tools, they would have been spending time making their house, a home. Neanderthals often utilized natural formations, such as caves, rock overhangs, or other protected environments, as shelters. These locations provided natural protection from the elements. They didn't just inhabit caves passively, they likely made modifications to enhance these natural shelters. This might include arranging stones for additional insulation or constructing barriers at cave entrances. In addition to natural shelters, Neanderthals likely constructed temporary shelters using materials like animal bones, antlers, and vegetation. During excavations at the Riparo Bombrini cave in Italy, Scientists say they found a strategically placed hearth and separate spaces for butchering and tool making. The scientists think the cave's ancient occupants divided the space into sections for different activities. A top level for butchering and preparing animals, a middle level for long-term living, and a bottom level for use as a short-term base camp. In the main living level, a hearth was positioned near the back wall of the shelter, which likely allowed warmth to circulate among the living space. Meanwhile, stone tools and animal bones were concentrated at the front of the cave. Butchering animals and crafting tools near the entrance allowed Neanderthals to take advantage of the natural light. Adequate visibility would have been crucial for their high-standard work. Neanderthals lived in small, familial groups, likely consisting of extended family members, estimated to be around 30 individuals, in small, spread-out pockets across Europe and Asia, but nonetheless. This social structure provided support for activities such as hunting, gathering, and protection. They likely talked, laughed, and I'd like to believe told stories on their way to hunts, or while sitting round campfires. While direct evidence of Neanderthal language is scarce, their ability to coordinate in group activities and the presence of a hyoid bone and possessing the gene FOXP2, which are both linked to speech, suggest a form of communication including gestures, vocalizations, and rudimentary language. Discoveries of Neanderthal skeletons with injuries or physical impairments suggest that they cared for individuals who were sick, injured, or elderly. This reflects a level of empathy and social cohesion within their groups. A Neanderthal specimen named Shanidar 1 suffered blindness in one eye, a withered, fractured right arm, deformities in his leg and foot, hearing impairment, and suffered advanced degenerative joint disease, so he would not have been able to make much of a contribution to his group. But he was looked after for about 10 to 15 years after these impairments, showing how empathetic Neanderthals were. In their downtime after a probable brutally harsh day, the mastery of fire takes center stage in the Neanderthal narrative. The flames dance in the hearth, casting shadows on the cave walls, adorned with subtle engravings. Like this 65,000-year-old engraving at La Pasiega cave in northern Spain. While the purpose of these markings remains a mystery, their deliberate nature hints at a symbolic language, an early form of artistic expression. Faces illuminated by the flickering flames share stories, experiences, and perhaps the primitive melodies of an ancient song, a notion substantiated by the discovery of the 50,000-year-old Divje Babe Neanderthal flute, found in Slovenia, making it the oldest known musical instrument in the world. As we extinguish the embers of our Neanderthal journey, we're left with a glimpse into a world shaped by survival, cooperation, and advanced human creativity. From their mastery of fire to pioneering artistic expression, Neanderthals have left an indelible mark on the human story. Through DNA, the spirit of Neanderthals endures within each of us. You could say they never left and live on through us today. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, goodbye.